Yeah, Marvin Gaye. Wow, Mind Chatter. Remember the song he did called Sexual Healing? Wow, that created some mind chatter. That was phenomenal. What a guy. Now, I got to tell you, I was just sitting in the studio, and somebody knocked on the studio door and comes in here and says, you know, you're making me think about mind chatter. He says, people are kind of like when you know, the way that they capture monkeys is they cut a hole in a gourd, they put nuts in the gourd. The monkey reaches into the gourd, grabs hold of the nuts, and doesn't want to let go of the nuts, so he traps himself. And that's how they catch monkeys. And I was just thinking, wow, now, what an analogy. It's like if we could let go of negative mind chatter, like let go of the nuts that's in the gourd. Our gourd is our mind. And if we could let go of those things, like a monkey would let go of the nuts, if they would, they could get away and go on about their life. If we could let go of our negative mind chatter, we could move on and have the great life that we're capable of. But a lot of us like hanging on to the nuts. You know what I mean?
That's a great analogy.
It really is.
So you gotta get really straight about that. I mean, it's a great analogy. Thank you very much for coming into the studio, bud. Anyway, so where we are is positive self-talk versus, I can versus I can't. I mean, it's just amazing. Now, I was going to talk about clearing. I was going to talk about an analogy and a story that I'll be willing to send to anybody that wants it. It's called My Trouble Tree.
Clay, before we do that, and it's a great story, but we actually have Karen on the line, and she had a concern she wanted to address with you.
All right, Karen, what you got? And as long as it's positive mind chatter, yeah.
Well, the analogy you just gave is perfect because it relates to my question, and that is how do you know in the heat of the moment that it's even chatter going on? I mean, I can look back in hindsight and see, I let my mind get away with me on that one. But when you're inside it, it's really hard to see.
Okay, here's the answer, and it's what a great question. If it dilutes or keeps you from committing to a direction, it is chatter. Can you get that?
So if it leaves you in quagmire.
In the quagmire, yeah. If it's, should I or should I not? Or if I do that, that's going to happen. Or if I don't do that, that's going to happen. Instead of just committing to move forward and be able to dance with what you get. Anything less than the total commitment to move forward is mind chatter. What?
Well, I'm thinking about the monkey.
Okay, so what mind chatter have you got going?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure I know how to verbalize it.
Okay, so mind chatter usually stops people. It's a convenient place to live in the world of try. I tried to do it, but I didn't actually get it done. Like try is a great place where the whole world accepts that you don't have to get anything done.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before.
Yeah. All right, so mind chatter is a place where you do your analysis, and many times that's as far as you go. So if you want to get out of mind chatter, you have to what? Get out of your mind. How do you get out of your mind? You put your left foot in front of your right foot and your left foot in front of your right foot, and you move on down the road and you get the job done, or find out, don't want to do the job, let's go left.
Okay, all right. That does it for me.
Okay,
good.
Got it?
Uh-huh.
Very good. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Now let's move on because I really want to do this. How much time do I got? If I got time to read if I got 5 minutes, all right. So here you go. Now, I want to read something to you, and it's all about a tool that I give people in my personal planning workshops that I do every couple of months in Santa Barbara. And it's kind of a clearing tool. It's kind of how do I get my head clear of all the stuff it makes up and the chatter that drives me into this quagmire language, alphabetical hoo-ha that doesn't let me get anything done. And it goes like this. It's called My Trouble Tree. And it says, the carpenter I hired to help me restore my old farmhouse had just finished a rough first day on the job. It says, a flat tire made him lose an hour of work. His electric saw quit, and now his ancient pickup truck decided not to start. When I drove him home, he sat in stony silence. On arriving, he invited me in to meet his family. As we walked towards the front door of his house, he paused briefly at a small tree, touching the tips of the branches with both hands. When opening the door, he underwent an amazing transformation. His tanned face was withered in smiles, and he hugged his 2 children and gave his wife a kiss. Afterward, he walked me to the car. We passed the tree, and my curiosity got the best of me. I asked him about what I'd seen him do earlier, and he said, "Oh, that's my trouble tree," he replied. "I don't know. I know I cannot help having troubles on the job, but one thing is for sure, the troubles don't belong in my house with my wife and my kids. So I just hang my troubles up on the tree every night when I come home, and then in the morning I just pick them up again." Then he said, "The funny thing is," he smiled, "when I come out in the morning, there ain't nearly as many of them on the tree as I remember hanging them up the night before." So what that means is the stuff that drives you, the stuff that grinds you, your stuff, your mind chatter is just that. It has no power unless we give it power. So mind chatter is extremely powerful if you turn it on. So learn to turn it off. Give it away. All right? Now, to do so, you have to be able to be present to mind chatter. You have to be able to be present of what's driving me. Is my heart driving me, or is my fear driving me? Is what I'm sure is going to go wrong driving me, or is what I'm sure is going to go right driving me? So you have to clear the negative, keep the positive. You need to distinguish that mind chatter can be negative or positive, and which way do you want to go with it? You know, also you need to distinguish, is the mind chatter going to make a difference in my life or the people that I touch, or is it going to put a wedge between us? All right? Is it going to put a wedge between us? If the mind chatter is useful and it will help you grow or someone else grow or make a difference someplace, then take action on it. And that's just what Karen was saying. What do I do? How do I distinguish between the two? And finally, don't forget to learn at the stuff your brain makes up. Now think about that. We are, and make a note of this, we are walking, talking, make-it-up machines. And the we, I mean, is humans. I'm not sure about dogs and cats, but I've seen them do some pretty goofy things, so it could be.
Clay, on the reference of the trouble tree, if there's anybody out there that wants to use that as a way to give up their stuff before they walk into their home and with their family, they don't actually have to use a tree to put their stuff on. They could use anything that is on their way into the door.
Oh, good point, Susan. All right, so now what you want to do is your trouble tree doesn't have to be a tree or a bush. And by the way, I wouldn't make your trouble tree a favorite bush because, karmically, if you put all your bad juju on the tree, it will probably turn brown, fall over. Now, so what you got to do is that I've found is however you come home at night, wherever you park your truck or your car or your motorcycle or your bicycle, your trouble tree, your receiver of your day, has to be right there. It can't be something you have to walk 2 or 3 steps to get to because you won't do it. So it has to be a fence post, a doorknob, all right?
A trash can
lid.
Recycle bin.
That's a good idea.
Recycle bin. Ooh, trash can or a recycle bin. No, you don't want a recycle bin, Charter. But you can hold it. Anyway, but something that's right there where you just consciously touch it and give all your bad juju to it before you walk in the house. Because your bad juju is just that. It's just bad juju. It doesn't mean anything. The reason why you got it is because you're giving it meaning. So let it go. Just let it go. Walk in the house and be with your family. It's really cool. All right, now we got to go on another break. Is that right? Let's hit it. Oh, we got a minute and a half. Yay. All right, so now, learning to laugh at your mind chatter. How do you learn to laugh at your mind chatter? Well, have you ever looked at a mirror and got how incredibly humorous you are and how funny you look? Have you ever done that? Now think about this. I want you to go stand in a mirror for 5 minutes, not 4 minutes, not 6 minutes, for 5 minutes, and just look at yourself and get a sense of humor about who you are. Also, when's the last time you spent 5 minutes looking in the mirror? When's the last time you really looked at yourself to see how you're aging? When's the last time you got how incredibly serious you are? Then the next thing you want to do is, if you have little kids, is get them up in the mirror with you and look how much fun they're having and look how stoic you are. And choose.
Clay, before we head out here, there's a great quote from John Alston. Mm-hmm. He says, "If you don't control your mind, someone else will."
Yeah, boy, you hear that? Yeah, and if you want your mind to be controlled, at least have someone that you love do it.
Exactly. Get a team.
Oh, yeah. Team up and learn to laugh when you don't know how. Have them show you.
That's right.
All right, this is a Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. We're talking about turning down your mind chatter, or at least getting a sense of humor about it. You're listening to KZSB AM 1290. So get on back here. I'm going to give you some closing statements that'll help you out immensely. Thank you.